Protesters.
That is a song of the kawaii bird.
Conservationists.
It's actually my business.
And even entrepreneurs. Climate campaigners take very different approaches.
Young voices will be heard.
But what these activists have in common is that they're young. And sometimes that means they're all too easily dismissed. So we're going to look at what they're actually doing for the future of the planet. This is no camping trip. Daisy and Talia helped to run the youth wing of Extinction Rebellion.
We're locked on at the bottom of this trailer.
The aim? Get arrested. It's a strategy the group uses to force people's attention.
It definitely directly affects my career plans. If I'm to work in childcare and I'd gotten arrested at an action, that would come up on an enhanced DBS and affect my chance of getting that job. So, yeah, I've kind of cut all ties with the career that I was previously pursuing.
2 days later, the girls have been removed. But their roadblock requires a little more heavy lifting.
Nothing is more important than this. If I were to be prioritising my job and then not being involved with this movement to the greatest extent, then I don't feel that I'm doing everything that I can for the world that I live in.
Yeah.
It isn't just state authorities the girls want to provoke.
XY Youth was created in order to try and give more empowerment and more autonomy to young people within the movement. It's unfortunate that it had to be created in order for those things to be established.
You know, the youth have a voice, the youth have ideas. We're more than just a token. Not only are we mourning the planet, but the normal life that we've seen our parents live and we've seen our grandparents live, that we're not even going to be granted because that was taken from us before we were even born.
Adults are kind of like, well, you don't understand, that's not how the world works. But there's very rarely recognition that maybe it's just because we haven't lived in a system that functions around these practices for as long. And so maybe we have a greater ability to conceive of an alternative reality.
During the October Rebellion, 1,800 people were arrested, Daisy and Talia among them. But with sights set on the general election, their campaign continues.
I think lots of activists are young people because we have a social freedom to say it like it is.
At 16, Bella Lack already has 5 years of conservation work and over 150,000 Twitter followers under her belt.
It is down to people to connect with nature. Most urban wildlife is seen as vermin because we're just so disgusted by the thought that wild animals are coming into our homes. So we have to change that mindset.
Oh, lovely to meet you.
Bella needs support for a new project, so takes a trip to Westminster.
In my attempt to conserve paper, I forgot to print off the timeline.
Reserva is the world's first nature reserve funded entirely by youth.
What I love about it is that there's something so positive. You know, there's lots of protest about what we don't want, and that's really important. But I think demonstrating what we do want is ever more important.
The atmosphere at Extinction Rebellion is incredible.
Yeah.
But then you go home and you think, what can I do now? With any exposure comes, the negative. It's hard not to be affected when you receive comments, obviously, but the faster a boat goes, there's more resistance from the water. And if there was no resistance, I think that would mean we were just in an echo chamber speaking to people who already knew about the environmental movement.
Critics accuse environmental activists of being hypocrites.
Our system is almost built for failure at the moment. However I live, I will be living hypocritically. I think lots of adults have bad connotations when they hear the word activist, when really lots of young people feel like they're obligated to do all they can.
After I watched a documentary, I saw that seabirds couldn't fly anymore because they had so much plastic in their stomach. I knew that it was all our fault and that everybody has to do something.
So, at 10 years old, Oscar started a business.
It was our spare room and now it's our stock room.
When we got our products for the first time, that was one of the happiest moments ever in my life. I was amazed.
Eskiko sells everyday products made from bamboo or stainless steel. It's Oscar's goal to get people off plastic.
Do you ever cheat?
I used to before I started this business, but no, I can't.
Oscar is invited to sell his products at London's New Scientist Live festival.
How much is one pack?
So it's £5
For the pack.
I've been asking people how many bottles they think that Coca-Cola produce every year, and then if they get the correct answer, then they win a free bottle. Most people have been guessing a lot less. Look how cool that fan is.
Oscar was recruited by eco-educators Maintenant Sustaining Now.
If you want to change behavior, the future generation needs to be given the tools as soon as possible. Girls and boys need to know that they can be scientists, they can change the world, the system can be changed.
Hard work pays off. Esquico has just had a large-scale order and may be hitting London shelves soon. Oscar's takeaway?
That nobody is too small to make a difference.